Hey everybody, and welcome back to Idiots Reading Comics. This week's episode 59, and we're reading Manifest Destiny Volume 2. As always, go like, share, comment, subscribe, all the fun algorithm stuff on our YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can listen to us on most any podcast platform. Just go find us, and like on Apple, you can rate, review. Please do it, whether it's negative, half-ass positive. Either way, it's still a boost and something that we can see so we can have some engagement. And again, share with your friends and family, anyone else that's interested in comics, and hopefully we can build our base up to better than what it is now, and we can keep talking about really cool comics. As always, let's get to it.
And welcome to the best damn book club on the internet. This is Two Idiots Reading Comics. My name's Ryan Talmadge. That's Davis Crocker. And this week we are reading Manifest Destiny Volume 2.
Yes.
It's going to be a continuous for at least a couple more months.
We read for a few more months.
Yeah. You already told me you had a little bit of a take on this one.
Yeah.
I'll let you go ahead and credit people, and then you can get into that take that you want.
All right, writer Chris Dingus. We'll go with Dingus. Dingess. How much you gonna say?
I forgot I forgot that guy's name was Dingus.
Penciler and inker Matthew Robert. Colorist Owen Gieni. 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 Letterer Pat Berseau.
Yep.
Brosseau. And editor Sean Makiewicz.
Yeah.
Makiewicz. Makiewicz. That gum. Usually the independents are a little easier than that.
Yeah. Well.
But.
All right. So you were telling me. I told you.
Yeah. I know.
I told you to save it for the show. So what were you about to tell me about this?
So kind of like what we hit with Power Rangers. We just kind of sit there. Yes, the story progresses, but yet again, we just kind of sit there and say, really good story, and hit the topics and move on. It kind of gets hard to talk about.
Yeah.
And I was going to approach that with this. We'll read it. Definitely, this is a great. I've been wanting to read Volume 2 since we did Volume 1 back month 1 or 2.
I don't remember. It was definitely early.
It was early.
Yeah.
And again, it's amazing. I really love the idea of alternate history, shit like this. But again, they've ran into a new arc.
Yeah.
Arc has trouble. They deal with it, and then they move along.
Okay.
And then as I was saying that, he's going, no, just wait.
Well, I mean,
I
was reading these as they were coming out. For the most part. I think they were on Volume 3 when I first started picking these up. And I think I read all the way until Volume either 5 or 6.
I think there's either 10 or 12. There's 75 issues, I believe.
Okay. I don't remember. I feel like I was close to the end, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know how long these guys want to go. The thing that killed me and made me fall off was this. Obviously, it's independent. It's by it's going through Image Comics, but the thing with independents is they can kind of set their own schedule.
I mean,
and they're towards where I fell off of it. The author and artist they came out with like 6 issues a year and didn't really have a set schedule. It's just whenever it got done.
Yeah, if you finished on 5, there was only 7 issues, 51 comics.
7 volumes.
7 volumes, yeah. 51 issues.
And I think I was finished on 5, but
so yeah, you were pretty close.
Maybe I think like because at one point I got caught up with all the volumes and started reading singles. But that's where I fell off because it might be a month till the next one. It might be 2 months till the next one. They only really did 6 a year, and then a collected version will come out at the end of the year, which that's their story. They can do it however they want. But I just kept like waiting, and then I eventually just lost interest. But I don't know where I was going with all that. But like you said, where this just kind of felt like uh ran into a new arc, ran into a couple of different monsters, figured it out, moved along. At the very end, they tease what kind of goes forward as the main story.
Yeah, right.
Um,
And I am intrigued. Like,
Yes.
I'm very intrigued to where it's going to lead.
So, volume one, you're basically under the impression that this was just Lewis and Clark set out to settle the West, but they find monsters.
Right.
At the end of this one, you find out that President Jefferson, I think is who they're talking about, got them to go settle it. Lewis and Clark knew there were at least some type of monsters.
Lewis did. I don't think
Lewis.
he told. Well,
I think
Clark
knew.
agreed before Lewis ever told him.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
knew. Because in the scene, Lewis even says, like, how the hell did you get him to sell it so cheap?
Yeah.
Because if you, any history buffs out here, the Louisiana Purchase was massive.
I think it was only
Land-wise.
like $15 million.
Yeah, for the amount of land
in
we got
like
with that.
1800, and now that amount of land is like now worth like $15 billion.
Yeah.
I get it's like
Yeah.
hundreds of times
Yeah.
more.
That's just
Thousands
inflation,
of
though.
times.
But even for back then, it was really cheap.
Oh yeah,
But,
no. What I mean is like it's beyond inflation. It's
Yeah.
it's
If you tried to sell that land now, it'd be ridiculous. But
it's like trillions, maybe.
yeah. But the reason why they got it so cheap is because the French didn't want to deal with
The monsters.
the monsters.
Yeah.
And so you find out Lewis and Clark knew the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And that lady even calls him out and
Because
said
he's got the two journals.
he has two journals,
Mhm.
one for the president and one for the Congress or something like that.
Pretty much like the public journal.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which that alone, happened. Like, that's a real.
That
To
probably,
me,
yeah.
like that's like a real thing. Like, yeah, there's the public knowledge, then
Yeah.
there's the private
Yeah.
heads of state knowledge.
Yeah. But and that kind of leads he shows them the Cyclops skull, which I think, and I don't want to spoil shit, but I think the Cyclops is like turns into Bigfoot. And
Oh, okay.
so that makes an appearance coming up. But then there's also, which they tease in the first book, there's also a real reason why Sacagawea is there. And it's not just to help them out.
Yeah, because initially
She's
when
pregnant.
when she's
I think they say that in the first volume.
because when Lewis and Clark meet her and her guide,
Yeah.
they ask him,
Yeah.
is she with child?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like a present, like they're going to present it to somebody,
Yeah.
and
And
why I
there's-
don't know.
I semi remember, but I never got to like the full conclusion.
Well, there's what it seems like is there's the
No, like when because I've read like
no,
up to the
no,
volume,
but
whatever.
to me, what it seems like right now, there's the Lewis and Clark reason why she's pregnant, what they're going to present to,
Yeah.
and then there's her
Yeah.
reasoning of
Which I do remember they do at some point do like a couple issues on like her backstory and stuff like that.
I kind of figured that was coming,
Yeah.
because this one you kind of saw more of her being presented, especially when you met the other Indian tribe.
Yeah.
Of her telling them when the Indian tribe tells Sacagawea,
Or they ask her why she's here.
yeah, they ask her why she's here. She doesn't say because there's commotion outside.
Yeah.
The Indians are trying to take the guns from
Yeah.
Lewis's group, and then the chief tells them, "Give us real guns. Don't give us these pea shooters."
Yeah.
Because they gave them air rifles.
Yeah.
Mimicking, like acting like those were the real firepower,
Yeah.
which is also a backhanded comment.
Yeah.
Because they don't want they want friendship, but again, they don't want to give
They-
the Indians, who they call savages,
yeah.
real firepower. So
Yeah.
if they ever revolted or tried to attack the U.S. again,
Yeah.
or settlers again, they could be put down just as easily.
Yeah.
And then she tells the chief, these are dead men.
Yeah.
That from the second they got on this boat, they're dead men.
Yeah.
And then he looks at her and goes, "That means you too." And she just kind of agrees.
Yeah.
And so
'Cause she knows what's going on.
yeah. And what got me was, or what I see is coming, is there is kind of what they call a god, what I would call like a mother, is waiting at the end, like the creation of. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, there's
the head of all the monsters that's kind of in charge, not in charge, but has what manifested all the other monsters.
Okay.
And that if you appease it, the monsters will
leave you alone and stuff like that.
Kind of right.
Yeah. Definitely
like a god, yeah. like in Greek mythology and all, where you sacrifice a child to the gods then grant you with peace, happiness, and longevity.
Yeah, definitely something along those lines. And then there's also like this weird stuff in between. But yeah, so if you're kind of like Davis, where he was just like, this was just the same thing as Volume 1, but now I'm getting to know the characters a little bit better. Yeah, just hold on. Like,
I mean, I know
the next couple of volumes we'll get to like the main story arc, but I guess one of the main reasons I struggle with this book is I can't remember anybody's name other than Sacagawea and Lewis and Clark.
I was trying to remember faces, and then and then the women, because there's only 2 other women.
Yeah.
But the faces, I was trying to even memorize the faces, and
the only one I remember is the really short little bastard Jensen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, because the others, they either kill him off or kind of rotate through the whole crew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I've got a feeling by the end of this, there's going to be 5 people left.
They kill off a lot of people.
At the very end, I figure there's going to be Lewis and Clark, Sacagawea, maybe the woman assistant to Clark.
Yeah.
And either Clark's slave.
Yeah.
I figured he's going to die. I figure he's dying shortly.
I think his name's York.
Yeah. But I figure he's going to be a very tragic death.
Can't remember, to be honest. It was been a while
at some point, because they're setting him up as being a very lovable, friendly character. And he's definitely one of those lovable, friendly characters.
Yeah.
Not because he's a slave or that he's expendable, but you get to know him and you get to really like him.
They do spend time
and you side with him to then all of a sudden he's going to be an easy one to just kill off. And then make the reader go, oh, well, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so you just got to be, it's weird because like they do have like obviously individual story arcs for each volume, but it literally builds each one.
And I'm sure it's coming. It's just,
6
like
issues in, and we're
12 issues in.
12 issues. Oh, fuck. Yeah.
12 issues in, and
it's just, oh, here's another monster. But yeah.
Now, this one was crazy.
Which one do you like more, the weird mosquitoes or the frog?
The mosquitoes.
I was about to say.
That we got to see the mosquitoes so much more.
Yeah.
But the frog was cool.
I'd say mosquitoes were a million times more scary. The frog was kind of badass looking.
Because the frog would have been so much worse if it could have come on land.
Yeah.
Like, if the frog could have gotten on land, that would have been game changer. Like, then they would have had to go into the woods and fight both at the same time. Yeah. That would have been pretty cool.
Kind of like what they did. Well, they ran into a fort in Volume 1, so they didn't have to fight both at the same time. But
that same idea of the centaurs, then it was the animals with the powder, right? Or the...
It was like the green shit infecting everybody.
That's right.
Turned everybody into plants and shit. But, yeah, I think the mosquitoes were probably the scariest shit ever. Well, because not only does it suck your blood, but it doesn't take enough to kill you, but then it nests.
It nests in you. Yeah. What was really messed up was when they go back and get the 2 guys that were left, and they start
cutting them out.
He goes, there's about 2 dozen more.
Yeah, that was
on one dude. So there's 24 others.
Yeah.
On this guy. That was.
You also had the storyline of what's her face, the girl that went on land and almost got raped.
I didn't.
Started with an L. Can't remember.
And then the guy's name, his was a
Holt.
B.
He is.
Was it Holt?
Corporal Holt.
Holt. That's what it was.
And he gets. Clark was not happy with him doing that to her, and
Clark was just gonna kill him right there.
yeah, and then he said, "You know what?
Got a better idea."
Yeah, and used him as bait and shit. That was kind of cool.
Ripping his leg off. I figured he was either gonna die or I thought he was gonna come out unscathed. The leg getting completely ripped off just makes it work. Like now he's vindictive. Now he's gonna kind of become vindictive, and where at first he was this sweet, innocent dumbass. Now he's gonna be a vindictive ass.
Yeah,
and I think he's gonna really side with the short.
Become
whatever they want to
like
call
all the prisoners that just went to.
They're cannon fodder.
Yeah, and if they survive, they're free men and stuff like that.
I'm waiting on him to do something.
He definitely does.
Now, Sacagawea put his ass in place.
Yeah.
But that's understandable. The rest of them aren't going to be able to.
No.
Now, even in Volume 1, you could see there's a disconnect between the two groups.
Yeah.
And in this one, the little guy told one of his buddies, like, "Oh, well, we're gonna keep talking about mutiny." He goes, "Nah, just let the enlisted keep dying off. We keep to ourselves, and
it's just gonna be survival.
We'll outnumber, and it won't be called mutiny. It'll just be survival."
Holt is basically telling what's her face the reason why everybody's there, and you get introduced to a few people that way. You had one guy.
That was Volume 1.
No, that was this one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. One then slept with his sergeant,
and the sergeant kind of fucked him over.
Yeah.
And then another guy killed his wife and cheating on him, and he killed both of them.
Then one other guy shot a kid on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they try to introduce the characters, but even the first time I couldn't remember anybody's name.
Nah. And again, it's kind of one of those. It's kind of like Walking Dead and Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know that you can't really get attached to characters, except for Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea.
Yeah.
You know the three of them aren't going to die.
Yeah.
Yet, you know the rest of them are up for grabs.
Go for any moment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, right now, they're not interesting enough to, like me and you, loved Rob Stark.
Yeah.
And we definitely didn't see his death coming.
No.
But, so, most of the time when these people die, I don't really give a shit.
Because they haven't grabbed us yet.
Yeah, that's my only complaint about the series is it doesn't make you care about the characters that they're killing off enough. So
now, granted, they haven't had enough time to really make you care.
Yeah.
Now the women, Madame Boniface,
yes, she's a badass. Character.
She's gonna be badass, and you're gonna care about her death.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna care about her death.
Yeah,
if she does. But that's me. I know you know, but
at
the point that you're at, you know.
I'm at, she hadn't.
So,
yeah.
Again, the more we talk about it, the more it's like, okay, I want to read on. Like, I definitely want to read on. It's just.
I'm just trying to remember. It's been so long. Like, I read these way before we started doing this podcast. I'm trying to remember what Volume 3 is. I think it definitely starts to get into, like, the overarching story.
Oh, the black guy, the slave.
Yeah,
York.
Found that compass.
Found the compass. I wanted to say that. So you've got these guys that think they're the first ones out here, yet they find an American with the United States crest on the front of it, compass, out here in the woods.
So apparently they're not the only people.
Right. So somebody has been out there before.
Well, yeah, because remember at the fucking very end, someone had to bring President Jefferson that Cyclops skull.
Right.
So
somebody's been out there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. Are they going to encounter these people? Are they just going to keep picking up remnants and have to piece it together and go, oh, well, somebody was out here. They didn't make it back.
Yeah.
We're the next group to go out there.
Exactly.
Which I've got a feeling they are the next. They're probably one of many groups that have been sent out.
Yes. This is hard because I know.
I
remember that story arc, but I don't want to say anything.
Because once I read it, got finished, and sat there and go, okay. And then they show the way Jefferson approached Lewis about going. The way Lewis and Clark have been fantasized in the real world is they were the best of their time. They were map makers. They were adventurous. They were approached because they were the best to go. And in this, they go, You're pretty much a drunk and useless. You want me to tell everybody all your secrets, or do you want to go from me for this job?
Yeah.
And Lewis is like, I'm gonna go on this job.
Yeah.
So again,
then
in
Clark-
this, it's I like that. It's like we didn't pick you because you're the best. We picked you because you're good.
Next man up.
You're good, but also you die. No one's really gonna care.
Yeah. But yeah, so next month we will definitely be doing volume 3 of this. So
Yeah.
you can go ahead and mark that one down.
Yeah.
And we're getting close to time. So we'll stop rambling now. But next week is
Department
Department
of
of
Truth.
Truth. One of my favorite ongoing series right now. By James Tynion. I think he's either still doing his Batman run or he just got wrapped up doing a Batman run. So you know he's good. But definitely an interesting and awesome comic.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm gonna have some stuff to talk about with it.
Yeah. But until then, we'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.